Hey everybody, it's Gypsy, and welcome to On the Edge of Appalachia. Well, I have not been out in my garden. It's neglected. It really is. Friday was the last time I was out here, and all I was doing was harvesting. I was hoping to get it out here today, but I just had the most amazing and emotional day. Oh, well, look at this. My rhubarb is finally looking better. It's not getting eaten as much. Anyways, I met up with a cousin of mine, my cousins. I have not seen them in a long time. They live out of town. They were in town. And I have always wanted to go to the cemetery where my ancestors are buried. Now, when my mom's side of the family first came to the United States in the first half of the 1900s, our family picked this one, and I think maybe it was the only cemetery really at the time. It was a Catholic cemetery to be buried in for Catholics. So my family came from Sicily, and they came here to Cleveland, Ohio. And I always loved family history on both my mom and my dad's side. I always found it fascinating. I used to bug my maternal grandmother with questions, and my paternal grandfather with a lot of questions about family history when I was a kid. And it's really important to me. And it was a very bittersweet day for me because I've always wanted to go there. But where the cemetery is located, it is no longer safe for a woman to go on her own. And all my life I wanted to get there, and I never could because I did not have, a safe way to go. So my cousins were in town, and I found out they were going to the cemetery, and I wanted to tag along. It was the most beautiful, beautiful day. It was great to see them again. And, wow, I got to see a lot of the gravestones. I did not get to see all that I wanted to. I didn't know where to find them. That was going to take more research. But when I find my grandmother's side, because I saw my grandfather's side, my maternal grandfather. I'll go back. Not alone, of course. But oh, what a beautiful cemetery. And it felt so good. And in the one, actually there's two stones that really got to me, made me cry. And the first one was my great-grandmother's. This is my grandfather's mother. And she died at a young age. She was 27. My grandfather, God, he was only 4 years old. That means she had my grandfather the same age that I had my first son. This was her second child, though. My grandpa, I think, was number 2. And his brother, Uncle Jim, was number 1, I believe. Anyways, after 2 sons, she died. And it was almost like she never existed. But I knew that she did. My mom knew. And I saw a picture of her once. And it was spooky because my aunt was the spitting image of her. You would swear they were the same person. It was amazing. I know I'm not talking about gardening today. I am just, I feel like in awe and amazement. But this cousin of mine said, I'm going to show you, because it's not his grandmother. She's my great-grandmother. But he's been taking care of her grave. And he goes, I have a surprise for you. Because I never knew Anybody even knew where her grave was? Nobody talked about her. Nothing. But I knew about her. My mom told me about her. So he says, I have a surprise for you. I'm going to take you someplace you're not expecting. I said, where? He goes, to your great-grandmother's grave. Your grandfather's mother. And I was like, oh my God. I don't want to go into why. I will tell you, my grandfather and I were very, very close. And her death, I believe, caused a great heartache in my family for, several generations. So her story was always very important to me. It was like she was not a part of me coming into this world. And without her, I wouldn't be here. And it just didn't feel right. So he brought me there first, to my great-grandmother's grave. And it was very emotional for me. I never knew her. She died in what? 1908? I never knew her. I know it affected my grandfather and my great-uncle deeply that she died. It changed our family. But when I got there, it touched her headstone. And I whispered, Nonna. Nonna is Italian for grandma. It was like she didn't exist before that. And I had no idea my cousin was doing this. So it was really, I don't know. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing. And I know me talking about this probably, doesn't seem like much. But it was so important to me. Because I think it brought a lot of sadness to our family and certain things. Well, like my son's death. I believe wouldn't have happened if she had lived. But that wasn't in the cards for us. Oh, look at my radish coming up. I got to get my new the next radish in. So anyways, yeah, I will. I know it's not interesting to others. It's interesting to me. And I was so glad that my ancestor, my great-grandmother, was made real for me today. It was just, man, it was amazing. It was amazing. It really was. So I'll show you, the headstones, oh my gosh. And my cousin took me by, it used to be Italian families. You'd have everybody living on the same street. So my grandparents, they lived on the street. It's where my mom grew up. And my cousins lived down the street. The cousin I was with today. Him and his brother and his parents. And he brought me down that street and talked about all his childhood memories with my other cousin and my aunt and uncle, a great aunt and uncle, and then my mom and her sisters and brother and my grandparents. And the times they had there. He showed me the house he lived in. And then he goes, well, I'm going to show you where your mom grew up, but the house was tore down within the past few years. So I saw the lot. My mom used to show me pictures of that house. She talked about that house all the time. All the time. I saw pictures of my grandma in that yard petting the dog. But I did find pictures of the house online. It's funny, it doesn't look like the pictures in our family pictures, but you know, my grandparents, I remember my grandpa, the house they lived in when I was a kid. He was always working out in the yard. I did not know, my cousin told me. Yeah, I think I mentioned to you the reason I planted strawberries and red raspberries in my yard was because I know in a few years I'm going to be a grandmother, and I want my grandchildren to have the same beautiful memory I had, or I have, from when I was a child. My grandmother, she used to like to, you know, she had a green thumb. She planted in that yard, in this, you know, this vacant lot, strawberries. And my cousin today was talking about how everybody would, you know, they'd go and pick, the kids and the family go pick the strawberries that my grandmother planted. And so when they moved to their new house in the suburbs of Cleveland, my grandma planted strawberries again, and there were red raspberries behind the garage. And oh, summertime, I could not wait to get in the backyard and pick the strawberries and the red raspberries. It was so much fun. It was a beautiful childhood memory, and I would like to pass that down. So the first thing I did when I started this huge garden was plant strawberries and raspberries, red raspberries. Because in a few years, I'll be a grandma. I'll be a nonna. And I want my grandchildren to eat the berries grandma planted. So that's why I did that. Not to mention they're delicious and I like to eat them too. But anyways, I know it's a really strange video. It's a very emotional day for me. My mom, the last one from that era. How long has it been? Died 22 months ago. She was the last one, my mom. So these are people I miss a lot. And I'm just like, it's very close to my grandparents. We were a typical close-knit Italian family, you know, family gatherings, a picnic. We were talking about the picnics today. And my cousin and I were talking about how big our family used to be. And now it's dwindled down to nothing. So I know it's a weird video, and I'm feeling very emotional. Not talking about gardening. But these are people who meant a lot to me. And now, in my section of the family, I'm the oldest. And it's a weird feeling. Not that I'm afraid to die, but I just miss these people. So anyways, it was great to be there in that very spot where my whole family lived, where my mom grew up. So I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful.